was actively working to resolve the impasse. But before she could even bring the matter to a close, representatives of the two dominant political parties, the NPP and the NDC, they were eager to weigh in.
We will have a meeting. We will bring the two candidates and their parties together and we will have a meeting to discuss it.
There's no way we can meet at this board the first time ASPAC meet in 2025. I will not discuss the only constituency remaining in parliamentary elections. We don't know when we are going to have a meeting.
With the EC now set to engage political parties in a post-election review, stakeholders will be watching closely to see how the Commission navigates both praise and criticism in shaping the future of Ghana's electoral process. Noble Crosby-Annan, Electoral Commission Headquarters, Accra.
The Supreme Court has, by a 4-1 majority decision, ordered the Koforidua High Court to hold the sentencing of Member of Parliament for the Akwatia constituency, Ernest Kumi, in a contempt case pending the final determination of his application challenging the conviction. Justice Gabriel Pamang dissented, while the 4 other members of the panel approved to stay. Lord Eduasare has been following up.
Lawyers for the Member of Parliament for the Akwatia constituency, Ernest Kumi, who was convicted of contempt by a Koforidua High Court, were prevented from moving a motion seeking to set aside an injunction restraining him from holding himself as an MP. When the case was called, lead counsel for the legislator, Gary Namakomafo, attempted to move the motion, but Justice Gabriel Pamang, chairing a 5-member panel hearing the matter, interjected that they were aware that Kumi had been convicted of contempt. But Gary Namakom argued that the High Court had disregarded documents his client had filed and that the motion before the Supreme Court was submitted before the High Court's contempt ruling. He further stated that he was not aware of the contempt order from the High Court. But lawyer for Boachiadom, Bernard Beidu Bediakon, disagreed. He noted that lawyers of Kumi had already filed another motion at the Supreme Court seeking to set aside the contempt ruling. Justice Pamang insisted that the Supreme Court could not grant counsel audience in a court of law until his client had responded to the contempt ruling from the High Court. After a short break, the Apex Court fixed March 12 to determine whether or not to hear the Member of Parliament for Akwatia. Regarding his motion to quash the contempt decision by the Koforidua High Court, the Supreme Court ordered the High Court to stay its hand in sentencing the Akwatia legislator pending the determination of his case at the Apex Court. Minority Leader Afinya Markin spoke to the media.
We don't have anything personal against the court in Koforidua, but it is clear that the court has acted in excess of its jurisdiction. No. It is clear there is some unfairness in its dealings with Honorable Ernest Kumi. We thank God for the decision of the court to stay the decision of the High Court and the actions of the High Court subsequently.
Lead counsel for the first interested party, lawyer Bediakon, expressed satisfaction with the court's decision.
If the police or whoever has been served with the bench warrant is minded, an arrest could be taken and will be undertaken, and nobody can have issues because the court was specific that he shouldn't be sentenced in the interim. Don't forget, sentencing is different from conviction. So as we speak, the said applicant Ernest Kumi is still a convict, and that must be emphasized. The court has not passed the conviction, and so things that a convict is not expected to do, as it happened in Parliament, and the majority said that because he's a convict, they will not allow him, and all that. That can still be upheld.
Broadcast journalist and private legal practitioner Richard Delasky has discontinued his case against the anti-LGBTQ bill at the Supreme Court. The journalist filed a judicial review following the dismissal of his suit against the bill on December 18.
On Wednesday, February 26, lawyers of Richard Delasky, led by Pakwesi Abedu, indicated to a 9-member panel of justices that they had filed a notice of discontinuation and hence would want to withdraw the case. The prosecution, led by Chief State Attorney Sylvia Dusu, did not oppose to the withdrawal. The Apex Court then struck out the suit, but not before chastising lawyers of the applicant for the failure of Delasky to show up in court. Lead counsel for Delasky, Pakwesi Abedu, noted that they decided to withdraw the suit because there's currently no anti-LGBTQ bill before the president.
One of our grounds for pressing this matter and contesting it up to this point was because it is a private member motion.
Right.
But if you've been following the news, His Excellency the new President of the Republic did not hesitate to indicate that he will ensure that the bill is introduced by the executive, reintroduced by the executive.
Yeah.
That totally makes our contention moot. So if it's going to be reintroduced by the executive, then there's no point pressing the matter before the court.
On Wednesday, December 18, a 7-member panel of justices chaired by Avril Lovelace Johnson unanimously dismissed the suits of Richard de la Sky and human rights advocate Dr. Amanda Odoi against the Proper Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill. In Richard Sky's case, he was contesting the legality of the bill, arguing that it violates several provisions of the 1992 Constitution. Lodi Dwasari, TV3 News, Accra.
The suspect in the shooting incident that led to the death of Laurentia Nabole Nelson, otherwise known as Nagamu in Nungua, Samuel J., has been charged with 2 counts of unlawful possession of firearms and murder. The accused person was arraigned before the Teshi Nungua District Court. Sarah Penkrong has more.
The suspect, Samuel J., was brought to the Teshi Nungua District Court 2, accompanied by the CID in charge of the case at the Nungua District Police Station. He is standing trial for the murder of Laurentia Na Adole Nelson, who was shot in the thigh by the alleged suspect during her installment ceremony as the Queen of the Gadangbe Muslim Union, Na Gamu, Nungua West Branch on Saturday, February 22. The prosecution prayed for more time to finalize investigations and forward the dockets to the Attorney General for advice. The court then granted the request and adjourned to March 12. Family and friends of the accused maintained that the act was an accident.
It's not his first time, okay? This is not his first time. He has been doing that even when they have these festivals in the Nungua township. Okay. Yeah, so it's not his first time. So I think it's one of those things. To me, if you want to kill somebody, will you even shoot the thigh of someone? It's an accident. We coming here even seeing the charge now that it's a murder case. No, this even at West there may be manslaughter or something. Yeah, it shouldn't be murder. When you watch the video, you can go and play back the video again. The gun, he just shot the person and then he was still standing. He didn't even know what has happened until the police came to him. So at the first moment, even when they hold him, he tried to resist them. That what have I done? So it's a spiritual something.
A close friend to the accused, Ray Afutodai, is pleading for leniency from the judge.
He started the first day, he went successful. The second day, he went successful. So even the third one, he was at work. So they called him that another one is going on, so he should come and help them. Those who are saying he has killed someone, it's not true. It's an accident. It can happen to anybody. So we should all learn from this, and we are praying that the court will be lenient. It's true that the person has passed on, but our condolence to the family, of the deceased. But no amount, nothing can bring back life. It's also a young person starting life. We are just praying he comes out of this.
National Security Advisor Prosper Douglas Kwekubani says government is committed to strengthening the nation's defense against the form of attack. He was speaking during the handing over ceremony of military equipment donated to Ghana by the European Union.
Ghana is said to have made remarkable progress in the fight against external attacks over the years. Despite these strides, emerging security threats threaten the national peace and democratic development of the state. Speaking during the handing over ceremony of military equipment donated to Ghana by the European Union, National Security Advisor Prosper Douglas Bani lauded the EU for its continuous support.
The equipment we've received today, or we are about to receive, will be instrumental in strengthening our security forces in multiple ways. The advanced communication systems will enhance coordination, intelligence sharing, and rapid response capabilities, ensuring our troops operate more efficiently. The riverine assets will improve security along our waterways, curbing illicit activities such as smuggling and illegal fishing, whilst facilitating emergency response in remote communities.
Minister of Defense Dr. Edward Omanibuama said the gesture buttresses the strong bond between Ghana and the European Union in their shared values of democracy, human security, peace and stability.
Today's ceremony is a fulfillment of the long-standing relationship between Ghana and the EU. It also buttresses a strong bond between Ghana and the members of the EU in our shared values of democracy, human security, peace and stability, underpinned by military deterrence, secure borders, and regional security.
For the EU ambassador to Ghana, today's strategic environment demands a strong message of commitment to stronger partnerships.
In this spirit, Ghana and the European Union are united, steadfast in our commitment to multilateralism, the defense of shared values, and the collective security of our people. The threats we face are intrinsically interconnected, and our response must reflect this unity.
The partnership between Ghana and the EU is expected to deepen further, enhancing security not only for Ghana but also for the broader West African region.
The Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, Emmanuel Kofi-Boah, has insisted that the illegal mining menace is a crisis that government is committed to fighting at all levels. He urged members of parliament to get involved at their various constituencies in order to ensure the forests and other natural resources are preserved for future generations.
44 out of 288 forest reserves are reportedly under serious threats. 5,000 hectares of forest areas are reported to be heavily degraded. In terms of water, the permissible turbidity level, which is below 500, is now between 5,000 and 12,000 NTU. Sector Minister Emmanuel Kofi-Boah says the country has a crisis at hand.
This fight is no longer about the small boys. This fight must get to the root, the financiers, the big guys, the unseen faces who do not worry about where that source of money is coming. We must find them and shame them.
The Lands and Natural Resources Ministry brought together members of parliament to sensitize them and discuss strategic plans and activities aimed at promoting responsible small-scale mining at their various constituencies. He says a number of measures are being put in place to restore the degraded forest and land.
We are expeditiously reviewing the licensing regime to ensure a streamlined process so that those who meet the legal and environmental requirements are granted permits. We are proposing a local permitting and policing unit. We have to find a way to decentralize the process.
The Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, lamented the level of devastation of water bodies and forest lands and called for a collective effort.
The public outcry on this issue is testament to the urgency with which we must act. The government of Ghana recognizes that restoring responsible mining practices require a multi-stakeholder approach. And this is why we have outlined deliberate steps to curb the illegal mining, regulate the sector effectively, and ensure that small-scale mining is conducted in a manner that benefits the economy and the local communities without compromising the environment.
Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin promised the sector minister that Parliament would not shield any MP involved in galamsey.
Other governments have failed. They have failed because they did not get the proper prescription. This government cannot afford to fail. It will lead to hopelessness.
Chief Executive Officer of Cocoa Board, Dr. Randy Abe, expressed worry over an indication by the European Union and Japan to start testing for heavy metals in cocoa beans.
The European Union and Japan have indicated that from September this year, they will begin testing for heavy metals, especially nickel, as far as our cocoa is concerned. North America and most parts of Asia will follow shortly. And as a result of this, Cocoa Board will have to spend lots and lots of money to put up state-of-the-art laboratories at the Quality Control Center at Tema to be able to meet the standards and to be able to test for these heavy metals.
That's how we bring the bulletin to an end this morning. But do remember that later this morning, our team on the business desk will be bringing you a comprehensive coverage on the State of the Nation address. So let us hear from you on social media. What are your expectations from President John Dramani Mahama? My name is Godwin Asidiba. I'll see you soon. Bye.
It's the battle of the teams in the 3FM 60-day Fix That Challenge. Which team will come up tops? Will it be Team Comfort or Team Helen? Will age and tact act triumph? Or will Youth and Eddie win? Call or WhatsApp on these numbers: 0532 300 927 or 0532 200 927. Now, to join Team Comfort or Team Helen and enjoy holistic wellness coaching, specialized diet plans, and cooking tutorials. Thrilling